Hello, beautiful friends. It is time to manifest your muse. Yes, we're going to dive into some creative energies for each one of the zodiac signs using my oracle deck with tarot clarification. Timestamps in the description. Keep watching. So welcome to the channel, or welcome back, as the case may be. So good to see you here. If you are interested in getting this deck for yourself, it is for sale on my website. I'll leave a link to it in the description of the video. And if you are interested in using your creative energies to write a book, I've put together a special guide on how to do just that, also available on my website. I'll leave a link to that in the description of the video as well. So as some of you may be aware, and if you're not aware, well, here's the scoop. I do have 2 degrees in creative writing, and I am passionate about creativity, writing, also creating art, as I did with the images for this deck, doing collages. I love all that sort of thing. So helping people use and work with their creative energies is near and dear to my heart, which is why I created this deck and also why I like to share these readings here on YouTube. All right, let's get into your reading. Watch for your sun, your rising, your moon, your Venus, whatever. All right, Aries, let's get a Manifest Your Muse card for you and see what you need to know right now about your creative process, your creative life. Aries. Ooh, this is one of my favorites. Muse of the Silk Cocoon. Allow your project the time and space to develop naturally in whatever shape it desires. So this is really an energy that speaks to how sometimes we try to make something into something that it isn't, and then we get frustrated because it's not flowing. There's something off. We can't put our finger on it. So, it's like when you sit down to write sometimes, like, you can usually tell in the beginning, at least I can, like, well, this is a poem, or this is going to be a story, or this is an essay. Sometimes you may have the intention, you sit down and you're saying, I'm going to write an essay, and poetry comes out. Can you let that thing be what it is instead of trying to force it into some other shape or thing? So, and also, this is another important part about this card, allowing your project the time and space to develop naturally. As Aries, we can rush and be impatient. Sometimes, my favorite word, percolate, projects need time to percolate. Because a lot of times, whatever you're working on, sometimes it's a process of discovery. Especially with writing, like discovering what you really want to say about a subject. You may start going in one direction, and as you get deeper into it, other things come out, other memories surface, more information comes in. You realize, that's not really the story. The story is over here. But you don't find that out unless you give yourself the time and space to have multiple drafts, to set something aside for a little while and then go back to it later. It's like that type of thing. So I love this card so much. I love how this person's inside this cocoon. So allowing yourself to be in that creative cocoon where it takes however long it takes for the thing to develop beautifully and naturally in exactly the way that it wants to be. So let's just crack open the tarot deck here and see if there's any other insights for you about this Aries. All right, Aries. Let us see. 6 of Wands. And wow, and the Wheel of Destiny. Beautiful. This project has a lot of positive energy and momentum behind it. Whatever's currently percolating in your cocoon, in your creative cocoon, it's born out of a spirit of adventure with the 6 of Wands, of seeing things from a higher perspective. Maybe you're writing about an adventure, having that sense of adventure as well. that's important with whatever you're currently working on, that it is an exploration process, and you're in charge of the exploration. You're in charge of how it plays out, the different possibilities, the different, places you're going to travel to, figuratively speaking, with your creation. Divine timing is the key here with the wheel. So allowing a full cycle also of something, I feel, right? So whatever that is, this could be 6 days, 6 weeks, 6 months of allowing yourself to fully go through the wheel of creation, the wheel of time with this particular thing, not giving it short shrift in its developmental period, as I was saying before. You could be... There's a delicate, this is what I feel. This is a lot about being in charge, 6 of Wands. So it is a delicate balancing act between you being the artist, writer, creator, in charge of what's coming through you, what you're channeling and coming through you, versus letting the thing also have its own natural energy, right? Its own natural vibration. And then also the mysterious forces of the universe that also have a hand in how something develops and plays out. So that both of these came out, I think it's like that delicate balancing act between those two things. The 6 of Wands is a very good card for literary works, writing, those types of things. So, but the thing with the 6 of Wands, it's really about coming back from a long journey. So allowing yourself the time to explore your creative journey, explore different facets of whatever journey you may be creating or writing about, the creative process in general as a journey. So all of that in play, keep that in mind. There's something I think significant about whatever it is you're currently involved in creatively. It has enormous success potential with both of these energies here, but it involves not rushing. Okay? Allow the thing to fully grow and blossom in its own time, and that will go a long way toward the eventual success of your project. All right, Taurus, let's see what you need to know about manifesting your muse, working on a creative project, your creative life. Taurus, let us see. Oh, we have Muse of Second Chances. Beautiful. There she is in her little laboratory. Reuse and repurpose your creative materials. Give yourself the opportunity to try again. Okay, and this, because she's in this lab, to me, this was also about experimentation. Okay, like cooking up new ways of using your materials. As it says, reuse and repurpose. Work with what you got. What do you got? What's there? How can you turn it? How can you use alchemy, right? To turn it into something else brand new. And giving yourself the opportunity to try again. So what if something didn't work out exactly? Can you use your creative energy, your creative life force energy, to think of new ways to use those materials? So I think it's very appropriate now, since Mercury is retrograde until the end of this month. I'm filming this August 17th. This is a great time to be rethinking and repurposing and reusing. But the fact that she's in a lab here, I also wanted to bring out this idea of experimentation. And that it's never too late. You can always have a second chance with a project, a modality. Art is a lot about experimentation, whatever art and creativity we're talking about. All right, Knight of Pentacles and the Sun. Beautiful. Okay, so if there is something that's been kind of stuck, Knight of Pentacles, like you feel like you need fresh inspiration from it. You want it to transform. Here's these beautiful butterflies and the sunflower on the Sun card. then it is time to step into that Leo sun energy, that creative life force energy. And with the butterflies here, which is about metamorphosis and transformation, it is time to use the alchemy of change to experiment. So take something that seems to be stopped in its tracks, Knight of Pentacles. It's valuable. It's coming up as the Knight of Pentacles. It has potential, but for whatever reason, it's currently stagnant. It's just there. And find the joy within it. If there is no joy to it, this is the other thing I would say. If there's no joy in this, then maybe set this aside for another day, another time, and experiment with some stuff that has brought you joy, that you're excited by, but it just hasn't fully blossomed yet. Reuse, recombine, experiment. Follow your heart. I mean, it's such a cliche, but that is the Sun card as well. Follow your heart in terms of how you want to remix and repurpose things. And it's a lot about the flow too, because this is stuck. Whereas the Sun card with the creative energy, it is about flow and freedom with the butterflies here. And what makes us feel good and happy. So what makes you feel creatively free? Have you been stuck because you thought things had to be a certain way with a project that you are creating? What if you just totally mixed things up and freestyled or freeformed or whatever? Just you didn't work from a script or a prescribed way of doing something, and you let your heart just go wild. The Sun card, the Leo, just go wild and experiment. What would happen? Okay, what would happen? So that's what is being suggested here to me, Taurus, for your creative journey and manifesting your muse right now. To get out of something that is stuck. And that also, remember in the regular tarot, he's sitting there, or she's sitting there just looking at that pentacle. So just sitting there and thinking and just looking at something is not going to change it. This is time for play. This is the Sun card, the play and experimentation with something. Okay, if you don't like it, it's fine. It doesn't mean that you're committed to it. You're just going to see what happens with something. Okay, but this right now is just like... And sometimes when we get too caught up in something, we can't see ways to experiment because we're just so like, it's like right there in our face. So taking a step back from something, again, maybe using pieces of it and recombining and regrouping, not just maybe the thing as it is right now, but a little snippets and recombine is the way to get out of this stagnant funk that's going on here with this Knight of Pentacles. But again, there is something valuable here. Okay, but it's just stuck for whatever reason. So shaking things up, experiment, go a little wild and play. All right, Gemini, let's see what you need to know about manifesting your muse, your creative life force energy. Gemini, let us see. Gemini. Muse of Mercury retrograde. And Mercury is retrograde right now. In Leo, August 17th, I'm filming this. Mercury, your ruling planet. Pause to review your projects. Rest and regroup. Reflect on your progress. Readjust as necessary. Okay. So very fitting for you, Gemini, right now. All right, let's see what you need to know about that. Your muse of Mercury retrograde. Let us see. Gemini. 8 of Pentacles and the Judgment. Okay. So you may be trying to hammer out something, trying to get it done, hammering out an agreement, hammering out a project, just with your head down, focusing, trying to get it done. But this is maybe not the best time because of the Mercury retrograde, or it's not the best time to create something new, but to regroup, review, hammer out the details of something if you're going over it again, editing it, reworking it in some way. The Judgment card is here, suggesting that, give yourself the time to take things slow. I have a feeling with this, you're in a hurry to get something completed. This 8 of coins, like you are at your work desk focused and trying to get something and hurry up and get it done. You may find it's still going to need a little more time after you complete it. It's okay. And you may be making a decision about it after Mercury goes direct at the end of the month. I would say in maybe the first 2 weeks of September, you may be making a different decision about it. So, do what you can right now. It's fine with this 8 of Pentacles, but have that flexibility to know that something is likely to shift with it. You are going to decide something different about it after the Mercury retrograde is over. Because this can be also with this Judgment, like you're trying to breathe life back into something. You're trying to maybe resurrect it, reconfigure it. Again, that is fine to be doing. But I do feel since this came after this, there might be some other tweaks after the Mercury goes direct. Okay, so with the Judgment, don't be hard on yourself if something that you are tweaking now, you tweak again later. This is part of the process. There's something that I'm just getting this hammering out feeling. And there's going to be more information that comes to light, typical with a Mercury retrograde, and you're going to be still tweaking it after 2 more weeks. Okay. So take your time. Don't rush. As it says here, rest and regroup, reflect on your progress, readjust as necessary. There will be some more readjustments. It's okay. I think also what I'm getting with this Judgment and this, you are working right now to very high perfectionistic standards, which there's nothing wrong with having high standards, but watch your tendency with this Virgo here, which can be very analytical and nitpicky and whatnot. And this Judgment that you're not setting yourself up for blockages, creative blockages, because you're getting into ultra uber perfectionistic mode. Just keep an eye on that. Maybe something about somebody else's judgments, maybe kind of hanging over your head, and you're trying to make everything foolproof and perfect. That's, again, it's okay to have standards, but, if something is done to 95% satisfaction, that's pretty darn good, or even 90%. So, just reflect on that also. And don't worry if you have to tweak again after the Mercury retrograde is finished. You are having a lot of very strong powers of concentration right now. But I would say even so, with this energy in this card, pace yourself. All right, Cancers, let's see what you need to know about manifesting your muse, your creative life. What you need to know, Cancers. We have Muse of the Crossroads. Okay. Decision time. Let the road less traveled be your guide. Okay, so you are in the midst, Mercury's retrograde right now, evaluating where you want to go next with your creative life, your creative projects. So good time to do that with Mercury retrograde. Letting the road less traveled be your guide. Right? So not, following the beat of your own drums, so to speak. Not worrying about what other people are doing or saying, but listening to your own muse, your own creative inspiration. All right, let's see what you need to know, Cancer. Oh, the High Priestess and the Ace of Pentacles. Beautiful. Your intuition absolutely is on point. Listen to it. All right, you are going to make a decision. I feel you're going to start something in Virgo season. Wait till after Mercury gets out of retrograde, August 28th. Sorry for the noises outside. You are going to make a decision to invest your time and energy, Ace of Pentacles, into something very valuable to you. The High Priestess is a lot, yes, about using our intuition, listening to our intuition. I always call it like she has a secret up her sleeve, working on something that you don't share with a lot of people. You are honoring its creative life force energy. You're not talking the life force energy out of it by telling people before you even do it. You're keeping it very sacred and private and investing a lot of energy into it. The only person you have to listen to is yourself, this High Priestess, your creative intuition, 100%. And this is starting something that it could bring great value to your life with this Pentacle showing up. It's something that you value, that reflects your values also, that really speaks from the bottom of your heart, the fullness of your being. And there is a lot here about flow with the High Priestess. So, I mean, even when we're in a project that we're feeling a great sense of flow about, yeah, sometimes there's still a few little roadblocks, writer's block, that happens anyway. But for the most part, I think what's going on here is really accepting, choosing, and stepping into your intuitive calling for the thing that really feels easy, that has that flow to it. And as I said, in wholeheartedly investing your energy into it, this Pentacle, making a practical schedule of when you're going to work on it, honoring your value, that this is important, having this creative time is valuable, honoring that, honoring schedules, and taking the time to invest in yourself in doing this project. Okay, so absolutely beautiful. But the road less traveled, right? Listening to you, that is the key. All right, Leos, let's see what you need to know about manifesting your muse, your creative life force energy. Leos, let's see. Leos, ooh, muse of the spirit god. Nurture this connection that transcends the tangible and unlock boundless inspiration from your guide. So your spirit guide, is trying to get your attention, trying to lead you in a new creative direction or give you insight into the direction you are already in. Your inner wise guide. Who is your muse? Do you have different muses for different projects? Okay, so working with the idea of a muse, whether we're talking about, ascended spiritual advisors, or we're talking about artists who have gone before you, who you admire, or a place. A place can be very inspirational. The genius loci, which is what the Romans called the spirit of place that existed at the crossroads and protected that place. And they believed, of course, that most of us do believe that, different energies inhabit different spaces, right? Like forest, spirit guides, nymphs, mermaids, mermen, all of these different energies that come about in a spirit of place also. So a spirit guide, muse of the spirit guide, doesn't have to be, a physical entity from a person. It could also be a place, right? So unlock boundless inspiration from your guide. Finding a muse, tapping into your muse. 3 of Wands. Okay. And the Knight of Swords. Okay, so I think that very soon, Leo, you are going to see, here she is looking on the horizon for something new. This ship coming in is the muse for you, okay? So there is a new muse on the horizon, a new inspiration. It may have something to do with water. It's possible. because of the energy in this card, and it's gonna give you a lot of mental inspiration. Knight of Swords. It's gonna lead you in a new direction with whatever it is that you are going to be working on or inspired by. So you may make a very interesting course correction or go in a different direction based on this Three of Wands energy, this spirit guide manifesting. And I would also say too, if you can spend some time near water, that may give you that inspiration. You may be more open to hearing from your guides by water and figuring out and getting that information of, well, who is this spirit guide that's going to move me in a new creative direction? Who's my new muse for my next project? Who or what is my new muse? So I would suggest that also. But Three of Wands is a beautiful card of visioning also. So using the powers of creative visualization, flipping, I think any type of art, collage work, because not all of us can draw, but collaging, flipping through magazines, old books, that type of thing, maybe cutting things out, putting them on a vision board, just seeing what you end up creating in a collage and what kind of mood or spirit is being informed from the decisions you're making in terms of the things you put on that collage can also help you with your visioning process of who this next muse is. So I think you're going to be moving in some sort of exciting new intellectual directions, making some exciting decisions to go in new directions with things that you're going to be creating because of some fresh inspiration. And you're looking for that on the horizon. You've been wanting that for a while. So it's coming. Do what you can, whatever way, you get inspired, feel like you're calling in your muse, fresh sources of inspiration. Do whatever you need to do to seek those out. All right, Virgo, let's see what you need to know about manifesting your muse. Creative inspiration for the Virgos. Virgo. Oh, we have Muse of Notes and Mirrors. Okay. What you hear in the music is reflected in your art. Lyrics are predictive. Listen closely. So this is a lot about those earworms. Like, how sometimes you wake up in the morning, you have a song in your head, or you're driving in your car and you turn on the radio and you hear a lyric that speaks to your situation right now, or you're walking down the street and somebody's playing some music somewhere or something and you hear something. So this is about being really in tune with your auditory senses, being that clairaudience, and listening especially to music, and maybe certain types of music as a positive association with when you are working on projects. There's all sorts of positive triggers, so to speak, that you can use, visual cues, auditory cues, olfactory cues. When I was working on a big writing project, whenever I work on a big writing project, I have this incense. Maybe I'll leave a link to it in the description, but it burns for 2 hours. It's Japanese incense, and it's amazing. And the smell is very clean. It's beautiful. And because it burns for so long, it's like the perfect time span, 2 hours, to kind of sit down and work on a project. And so I know when I'm smelling that smell, if that's an olfactory cue, it's time to work on this project. I listen to certain music, same thing. Listen to certain music, certain playlist when I'm working on a certain project. Usually I don't have words. It's just more, like space music. So all of those types of things to have those cues of when it's time to work on something. But also taking inspiration from music, whether it's, again, a time marker of when you need to sit down and work on something, or you are creating a character in your novel based on this musical piece, or whatever you're doing. Maybe you're writing music based on a novel you read, and the character struggles or something like that. Okay, so keeping those things in mind, how can you use music in those varying ways? All right, let us see. Listen closely. Knight of Cups, there you go. And the Five of Wands. Okay. So if you're feeling like you're being pulled in many different directions, Five of Wands, if you feel unsettled, if you feel like you can't settle down and work on something because you just feel pulled in so many directions, then here's your Knight of Cups. Here is your music energy. It's time for you to put on some sort of music that is going to allow you to focus. This Five of Wands is, I am all over the place. And also, I may have too many different projects going on at the same time, and then nothing's getting done. So maybe you need distinctive music for different projects you're working on. Maybe you need the music of focus. I am not affiliated. This is not a sponsored video, but you might want to check into HemiSync, HEMI-SYNC. I mean, this is going back to the days of CDs. I mean, some people still play CDs. I still have my CD player. I still have CDs. But HemiSync put out different CDs that would, for different purposes, to work with your brain waves. So you can look into something like that to help you with the focus, because that is, I think, something that is needed with this Five of Wands, where you feel like your energy is just all over the place. And it's through the music that may help you focus. If it's not HemiSync, again, maybe it's a type of music that when you hear it, you know, this is what I'm focusing in on. This is what I'm working on right now. And that's it. I'm not going to allow myself to drift into other places. I'm going to stay right here and work on this project. So Knight of Cups is a very loving and nurturing energy. So, and it's very musical because it is the cups, right? It's about art, artistry, intuition, music, poetry, all of those things. So, but this Five of Wands can sometimes be problematic, and that's what we want to kind of keep an eye on. So if you are feeling pulled in a lot of different directions, see how you can use music to help you focus. All right, Libras, let's see what you need to know about your creative life force energy. Libras, manifesting your muse. Ooh, we have Muse of liminal spaces. Okay. In the space between what is and what will happen next, embrace the creativity of change. So you are paused on the threshold. That's what a liminal space is. You're not here, you're not there, you are in the in-between. So you're in the in-between right now, maybe trying to decide what you want to work on creatively, where you want to go next with a project, what's, interesting for you. So can you embrace the creativity of change? Maybe you're going to change courses entirely and go do something different than what you've been doing right now. So, but right now you're unsure, and that's okay. But you know how sometimes it is when we're in that liminal space, it's like we can't stay there. We want to know immediately. Can you give yourself the grace of time and space to allow the direction to unfold where you're going to go? Okay. Can you allow yourself time to see what comes next instead of trying to force something? The liminal space is a time of great potential. Can you give the universe time to show you the next right thing? The Empress, wow. And the Three of Swords. Okay, this is absolutely, I think, about, here's your energy, the Empress, right? The Venus ruled Empress. This is about allowing yourself time and space to trust the creative process. And part of the creative process and your creative journey is being in a liminal space. When we are in a transition, we completed one thing, but the new thing hasn't started yet. This Three of Swords, maybe you're being, maybe you're nervous right now thinking that this liminal space is a blockage. Maybe you're thinking, oh, I'm blocked right now. You are not blocked right now. Okay? Three of Swords to me can be a mental block. Something's coming in between two ideas, two situations. Yes, it can be heartbreak and whatnot. But we are talking about creativity, creative energies here. So to me, this is more like a mental block and a mental fear. I'm stuck. Again, you are not stuck. You are in a protective, creative space where, yes, the next right thing that you're going to be nurturing will be revealed to you. I would say probably within the next 3 weeks. So this is not time to be focusing in on self-blame or beating yourself up that there's something wrong with you because you're in a liminal space and you don't know what's going on yet. It's okay. You know, we're not always in a place of working on something. There are times when, yes, we are in that pause situation. So it will be revealed to you, the Empress, and this is going to be exactly the right thing for you. And notice we have 2 3s here. So I would also say, you know, 3 is a very potent number of creativity, of creation, right? Because 2 things come together and create the third thing. So I think some things are still in process of arriving. Tools, support, ideas, materials, whatever it is that you need for this next phase of growth. But those are not here yet. The universe will bring them. Again, inspiration, ideas, that type of thing. So, and because this is your energy, this is something that you're going to invest a lot of your creative energy into, and it's going to be beautiful and it's going to feel very aligned. If you force something right now, that will be a heartbreak and a disappointment to you because it's unlikely to be aligned for you. So when we allow, I don't want to look at that 3 of Swords anymore. When we allow ourselves to, be in that in-between, give ourselves the time and grace to listen to the universe, to see the things that come in, it's more likely to be aligned for us than when we rush and we push, which is very much a fear-based thing. We end up getting in situations that are not aligned for us. So it's coming, something very beautiful you're going to invest a lot of creative energy into. And it's something that you're likely to work on, it takes 9 months to grow the baby. So you're likely to be working on it for the next 9 months as well, nurturing it and growing it. Once, you figure out what this is within the next, 3 weeks, I would say. I think by your birthday season, the start of your birthday season, so end of September, you're going to know what this is. And you'll be moving confidently and stepping over the threshold with something very exciting and new. That's perfect for you. All right, Scorpio, let's see what you need to know about manifesting your muse, your creative life force energies. Scorpio. Ooh, we have Muse of the Rainbow Beyond. Tap into the unseen realms. Inspiration from ancestral watchers, angels, and ascended masters. Okay. So this is about being really tuned into the other side. Okay, the rainbow beyond. Who's ever in the ethers, who's ever, behind the veil, so to speak, and getting inspiration from them, being tuned in, whether it's, your ancestors, ancestral watchers, angels, ascended masters and creators. Okay, so taking inspiration from those sources, Scorpio. Oh, wow. 7 of Cups. And the 3 of Swords. I think that there is somebody who is in the ethers who has a very profound message for you. I think they left before they could give you this information. They are wishing and hoping that you will deliver this message through your creative work in some way. Okay, so I think somebody who has crossed over It could be they didn't get to realize their creative dream. If this has something to do with one of your personal ancestors, maybe they didn't get to realize a creative wish, and they are behind the veil helping you because they know you're going to realize that creative wish. Okay, so I think that is one way to look at this. I also feel that the help that's coming to you, you're going to bring a lot of healing to people, helping people with heartbreak and loss. This may be a focus of something you're working on right now, or it could be that whatever you're creating with your imagination is going to help people escape from heartbreak and loss through, imagination, fantasy. I mean, whatever you're creating, or it's just going to bring a lot of joy and healing to their lives. So, and Seven of Cups is a very interesting energy. It is a lot about imagination. So, and sometimes escapism, and sorry, I've got like a cat hair there. I mean, sometimes we really need that in our lives, right? We need a movie, we need a song, we need a story to take us away from the mundane reality that sometimes can be harsh, right? We need that. So some of you may be using that element or bringing that out in your work. But I think whatever it is that you are using your imagination to create, it also is very healing for you. Three of Swords. And if you are feeling blocked, because this sometimes can be a block, and you're having trouble accessing your imaginative faculties, then call on the people, the energies from behind the veil. They are there to help you. And you may also find that a block gets relieved by using an inspirational story from somebody, in your own family who's passed on, or again, angels, ascended creators, etc. Using their life, their work, their ideas as inspiration for your own if you're feeling your imagination is blocked. Okay, so really, really positive energies here, Scorpio. All right, Sagittarius, let's see what you need to know about manifesting your muse, your creative life force energies. Sagittarius. Ooh, we have Muse of Cosmic Timing. Okay. Use astrological timings to align yourself with optimal energies for creation. Okay, so paying attention to new and full moons, where are they occurring in your natal chart? Paying attention to Mercury retrograde periods, like right now. I'm filming this August 17th. Mercury's retrograde till I think the 28th of August. This seems like the longest Mercury retrograde that I've been through lately. So aligning yourself with optimal energies for creation. Are you sitting down and creating things when the moon is making aspects? So you're not trying to create something when the moon is void, as an example. Are you starting a project, like if you're writing, are you starting a writing project when the moon is in your third house of communications? It's like those types of things. Jupiter, of course, is in Gemini right now until next May. Great time to write a book for everybody. So that's another reason I put together that guide. Link in the description, because it's a great time to do that. All right, so keeping in mind cosmic timing, let's see what you need to know, Sagittarius. Working with the astrology for the best times for you to create. Nine of Wands, okay. And the Ace of Wands, wow. So both your energies, the Wands showing up here. So yeah, if you're feeling tired and if you're feeling things are a hard slog right now, or you're feeling like you just don't have a lot of time because you're involved with a lot of other things, or you're just burnt out. That's the other manifestation of a Nine of Wands. You're just burnt out in general, not just with your creative life, but maybe just life in general. You want to get your mojo back at the right time. Ace of Wands. Again, this is your energy. So it makes sense to understand when your optimal energy times are. So you have to take into consideration your astrology chart. You have to maybe take into consideration your natural biorhythms, what time you do have available to yourself to work on different things. When astrologically are you most energized to sit down and begin something? Might be when the moon is in your sign. Maybe it's going to be when the moon is in Aries, okay, which is, if you have Sag rising, is your 5th house. So, I mean, look to your astrology chart to get some clues as to when is the best time to initialize the new, because this is the Ace of Wands. You know, it doesn't make sense to push when Mercury's retrograde, as an example. It's a great time to rest, and maybe you need some rest right now. Rest, renew, regroup. Get your energy back. This to me is saying a lot, that if you try to do stuff when you're tired, like it's not going to happen, right? And the thing with Sag energy is, you guys, I mean, you are very, very powerful. You have a lot of life force energy. I mean, you're a fire sign. You've got a lot of energy. But fire signs have to guard against burnout, because we think we can do all the things all the time. And this is just not the case. So understanding, especially because both are wands here, and wands can relate to our physical body, understanding your own cycles of when you're tired and admitting you're tired and actually taking a rest, Sagittarius. And then you'll have the energy to come back and start again. Also, I think it's really important with the astrological timings to, well, not just astrology, but to not keep investing your energy, your life force energy, Ace of Wands, into things that are burdensome for you either, that drain your energy or feel like the same old. You do need variety. You're a mutable fire. You need variety in the things that you are doing. One thing's mutables have to watch out for, they do need to make sure they're following through. Okay, so, you know, you want to make sure that if you start something, you do finish it eventually. I mean, you know, sometimes the variety is the spice of life for mutable energy, but then you can start a lot of different things and not finish them. So that's something also to keep in mind, like maybe really just focusing in on one thing instead of trying to do 9 different things and getting yourself burned out and then nothing gets finished either. So, you know, all of these things in consideration here, but aligning with the fresh and the new at the right time of the month for you energetically. Whatever that means. I mean, some of us are very sensitive, not everybody, but some of us are very sensitive, as an example, to full moons. And we're inordinately tired. It drains our energy. We don't sleep well. Some people are very sensitive to new moon energy. You know? So it's just, you know, if you work with the moon cycles, same thing, like it's just going to depend. So I think this is saying, if you want to engage with some fresh energies and feel more yourself and on point, pay attention to astrological timings and cycles and rest when you need to rest, maybe especially at full moon times here. Okay, the full moon's in this card. All right, Capricorn, let's see what you need to know about your manifesting your muse, your creative life force energies. Capricorns. Ooh, Luna Moth Muse. Luna Moth Muse. Intensify your efforts and feed your creative hunger. A moth to the flame. Okay, moth to the flame. So feed that creative hunger. Intensify your efforts, Capricorn. All right, let's see what you need to know about that. What are you hungry for creatively? What do you want? What can't you resist, right? The moth to the flame. What is irresistible for you? Oh, 2 of Pentacles. You can't decide. Okay. 9 of Wands. How can we have a 9 of Wands here? We'll pull one more card for you, Capricorn. Oh, and a 10 of Wands. Okay, this is interesting. We start with the 2 of Pentacles. We have a 9 and then a 10 of Wands. The reason that you can't intensify your creative hunger right now is because you're wrapping something up. You haven't finished. There's 2 things you have not finished yet. Okay, so this 9 and 10 is saying buckle down and finish them. You are wrapping up some sort of creative cycle here with this 9 and 10 coming out after this 2. So you may have been fighting it a little bit with these 2, because to me, a 2 of Pentacles can be an infinity loop. Like you've been going around and around about how you're wrapping up these 2 things. And you haven't made any decisions on how you're wrapping them up. And so nothing can move on. You can't move on. Isn't this interesting? Look how the Luna Moth looks like this girl in this card. They're wearing the same type of white outfit. They've got the gold and the yellow. Here's the gold here. So we think about this color, the color of white, as a blank slate, something new. Right? The story hasn't been written yet on the piece of paper. It's a blank page, right? So there is something new that you want to do, as I said before. You want to feel like a moth to a flame. You want to feel that fresh sense of creative inspiration, but this is the issue, okay? So Capricorn, 9 and 10, wrap up the energetic cycle and stop going around and around and around. Just get it done and get it off your plate. Whatever these 2 things are. This may also not have anything to do with your creative life. It may be other obligations or other things you have that you just don't have time right now, right? But those are in process of wrapping up. Make decisions that lead you toward tying up loose ends and wrapping something up. And then you'll have the energetic space to feed your creative hunger with some new stuff. Okay, so you got this. And a great time, interesting that we have the 2 of Coins, which is like our Virgo September 2nd. That's when we have the new moon in Virgo, which is your 9th house of the big picture perspective, investing in new writing projects, especially, things like that. So keep that in mind also for a timing of when to start something new. All right, Aquarius, let's see what you need to know about manifesting your muse, your creative life, your creative energies. Aquarius. All right. Oh, we have Legal Eagle Muse. There she is, looking like a legal eagle. Okay, familiarize yourself with contracts, copyrights, trademarks, etc. Protect your creative ideas. All right, let's see what you need to know about that, Aquarius. Protect your creative ideas. Page of Cups and the Knight of Swords. Okay. So you either have recently been or you're about to be gifted, Page of Cups, from the universe with some sort of very surprising creative idea. Something innovative, interesting, exciting, has a little surprise twist to it. Something that you're going to be starting, Page of Cups, with a lot of hope and joy. This Knight of Swords, though, Knight of Swords can be a very combative but also protective energy, especially we're talking about contracts. We have the swords, especially in a legal sense. Somebody who goes to bat for you legally. So because this is an innocent energy, Page of Cups, can be a little naive, the Page of Cups. And we're getting this legal eagle about protection. And we're getting this after it, protection. Do not be talking, swords, about this idea with other people. You need to protect the sanctity, the innocence of this idea. And one of the best and first ways you can do it is you just don't tell anybody about it. Because lawyers are expensive. I know, okay? Because I wanted to get this deck, the name trademarked, and it wasn't cheap. But I felt it was important to protect my, intellectual property. So, sometimes it takes a while to get the money together to do that. It's just the reality of it. But in the meantime, you can, of course, keep it under wraps so nobody knows about it. And in that way, it's protected. So you may consider that whatever you're working on right now, or whatever you're about to work on, because like I said, I think you're going to be gifted with some sort of fresh, innovative, creative spark energy here with the Page of Cups. You be the guardian of it. You protect it right now until at such time as you have the funds, the means, etc., to do it legally. All right. So very important. Also, if you're dealing with anybody, like let's say you have something finished, you're in some sort of negotiation right now. The same thing applies. Like if you're in the talks of selling your creative work in some way, or selling yourself, like maybe they want you to speak at an event or, something like that, or you're going to go to a trade show or go to a craft fair or whatever you're doing, because you may be doing something like that, make sure there's contracts. Okay, this Knight of Swords. Like it's very important, whatever you have going on right now creatively, that it is legally done and dusted and proper. So, there's all sorts of things that go on. Okay, so it's like somebody can be like, oh, well, we would like you to put your, like as an example, well, why don't you put your cards in our shop and we'll have them there? Okay, well, where's the contract for that? Are you getting a cut of that? If I put my cards in your shop to sell, like, are you getting a cut of that? How much? Where's the contract? It's those types of things. I mean, these days you can't be Page of Cups little la-di-da innocent over here about these things. Everything needs to have legal protections. It's unfortunate, but that is the way it is. So even things as seemingly innocent as that, get it in writing. Get everything figured out. Okay? I mean, it doesn't mean anything's negative here, but this is prudent. This just means, you value yourself and your creativity and your creations enough that you will take care of them properly. Because they are what we create. It's like a little baby, right? Page of Cups. It's something that like innocent. It can't protect itself. We have to protect it. We have to be the adult that protects our beautiful, blossoming creations. Okay, so just keep that in mind. And Pisces, let's see what you need to know about manifesting your muse, your creative life force energies. Pisces. Ooh, we have Muse of the Winged Messenger. Marketing and messaging are important now. Send your work out into the world. Okay, yeah, sometimes we can get so caught up in the creativity aspect because it's fun, right? For the most part. But then our work never sees the light of day. Are you promoting your work? Are you promoting yourself? Are you letting people know on social media, hey, I just published this book. I'll be speaking at this conference. I have this merchandise. Like, are you getting the word out about your creative projects? If you build it, they will come. Okay, but they got to know about it. Right? You got to let them know where you're at. So sending your work out into the world, marketing and messaging, get in and out there, Pisces. All right, let's see what you need to know about that. We have the Guide, interesting, the Hierophant, and the Justice, the Libra energy. Okay, so what this is saying to me, okay, marketing and messaging. If you feel like you don't have a clue, or you're not up to it, or you're not interested in it, or all of the above, then maybe it's time to consider getting an expert on board, the Guide, right? Or learning from an expert of how you can do justice to your creations, your creativity, your output by getting it in front of people. Right? Unless you're just creating for creation's sake, and that's fine. Okay, you can do this. Not everybody wants to sell their artwork or their book or whatever. Some people create just to create, and that is fine. But this is the card that came up for you, which is about marketing, messaging, and getting your work out. So this is your third house of communications and marketing, the Taurus energy that's showing up here. Uranus is in Taurus right now, using technology to help you in some way, so that, yes, you can get your work out into the world. Having some sort of contract with somebody, an expert, the guide, who's going to maybe do that for you. And this could be a book you buy, right? Or a mini course you take. It doesn't have to be a lot of money to just learn what you need to learn to market more effectively. With this justice. Let's see. The Libra energy is your 8th house of other people's money. So if you really want to have other people give you money, which is the sales transactions, right? If you would like that to happen, then you got to get your stuff out there, right? But this is the issue of knowing what to do, how to do it, the rules of the game. I mean, the guide, the Hierophant can be about rules, right? Rules of how something is done. The rules of, I say that in quotes, the rules of the marketing game. Of course, you got to know the rules to break the rules. And I think a lot of times people who are most successful are the people who do break the rules. They do something so different that it gets very noticed and can lead to great success. But you have to know what those rules are in order to do something a little different. So that's also possible. But that's what I would suggest from this Pisces. I mean, don't spend a lot of money. I mean, there's a lot of things out there that are scammy. Like I said, you can take, buy a book for $30 and learn more about the marketing aspect of something, or talk to somebody, take their mini course for $47 or something and learn from them. And you don't have to spend a lot of money, is my point. But it can also be simple things like, what are you doing on a daily basis, with your third house, which is daily stuff to reach other people. Where does your audience live and hang out? This 8th house, where are they? Not everybody's on Instagram. Not everybody's on Facebook. Not everybody's on Pinterest. Not everybody's on YouTube. Not everybody is on X or Twitter. Where is your audience specifically? Hone in, focus on that, and get the word out through that social media. I hang out on X. I like X very much, but I don't tweet Twitter. I don't do that very much. I don't think my audience is really there. They're on YouTube or Facebook. Okay, so find where your audience is. That's the other thing I would say with this. Guide them to you also, right? Guide them to your social media. Do they know that you have, an X account, a Twitter, a Facebook, whatever? Okay, so all of these possibilities here for you. But it's time. It's time to get the word out, Pisces, about your beautiful creations. So thank you so much for joining me for your Manifest Your Muse creative energies to help you manifest your creative dreams. I hope this was helpful. Please leave me a comment. Let me know what's going on in your creative life. Check out the links in the description for writing your book if you're ready to do that. And also with the Manifest Your Muse deck, if you'd like a copy for yourself. Right now, I'm just shipping them in the US. So keep that in mind. All right. Love you guys. Take care. I will see you again soon. Stella Wilde signing out.